Okay, this is another video. It's really early in the morning. Actually, it's still dark outside, and it's because they woke me up after you heard my last video. Now that means that while I'm asleep, that's when they start creating ways of thinking, changing my thoughts. I just realized every time I wake up, I don't think the same. This is, I think, the period time where your brain is definitely the most vulnerable, right? And I realized that because my thoughts become so illogical. It's like they planned, okay, we want him to start thinking this way, we want him to think in these illogical ways, and this is, like that's when they start creating this irrational, illogical ways of thinking. And it's just, it's ridiculous because before you go to bed, you you're kind of, you have a better, like at this point every night is bad, so my brain is shifting to something that becomes less and less logic. I'm start acquiring their ways of thinking in regard of what's happening to me instead of reality. Like I said, they have psyops. I'm not a genius, but I can tell what's happening in regard of what they're trying to present themselves as. It's part of the psyop. At this point, I'm very much aware that what they're presenting themselves as is not what they are. The reason why they present the psyop is to make you accept everything but the truth. The truth is, these people work for this program that manipulates the brain, and we subjects are, uh, we target individuals are subject to this experience, to this experiment. I'm sorry, I have to speak quite slowly because, as you can see, they're trying to make me say something else to confuse me. So I'm gonna be goes. I'm gonna try to speak slower, and my brain is just hard for me to function right now because of what they're doing to my brain. Uh, and because obviously lack of sleep and everything makes it easier for them to play with my brain. So, uh, the psyop for me is this group of like sincere, fierce men and women who are trying to know that I have figured me out, and what I'm experiencing is me. And so we are not manipulating you. What we're doing is we are mapping you, we are mining you, and this, what we're seeing is just what is in your brain, and it's not us manipulating you to experience that. We've matched it to you as a child, we do this, but we're not making things up, we're not creating things, we're not falsifying things, we're mapping. That is the psyop. At this point, I understand this. There was a process before I got to this point. Before August 19, 2019, I was able to think for myself. At least most of the time, I don't think I was being manipulated. At least not to this level. I was thinking clearly. I did not have these disturbing things that is manipulated into me 24/7. Where at this point, just like many other target individuals, everything is manipulated to disturb me, to degrade me, to do so much foulness. Now, I know that. And the perps that I'm with are trying to stop these ways of thinking, because they are still trying to present themselves as this sensible slash radical slash this is different kind of project. We don't manipulate people this ways. It's you. We are not like every other testimonials you heard. What we're doing, we're just mapping you. Even me saying that, they put some nasty things. It's you. We're just somehow making you think a way you were thinking when you were a child. We mapped it to you thinking like a kid. Or at some points. That is what they're trying to say. Now, obviously, the reality is this. These tactics of breaking people down in these pedophile ways is something they've done to others. Right now, to counter that, they have been repeating scriptive terms to disorient me, to confuse me, and to agitate me. What they're doing right now is to manipulate every experience I have and turn it into something else. My thoughts are completely manipulated 24/7 by this trash. 24/7, my thoughts are completely manipulated in the most disturbing ways. Those thoughts that I'm experiencing are no longer mine. Those thoughts are completely, non-stop manipulated. The days where they needed to map are done. They have everything to be able to manipulate me. As I was listening to what's his name, to Robin Dawkins. Once they have your signal, your brain signal, and they have the finger brain of your brain signal, they can make you experience so much, and they're gonna continuously break you down to change you more and more and make you experience and to break your self-esteem. And I think that's because once that is broken down, they can do so much more. Now, I'm not an expert. I'm not. All I'm saying is the things that so many others have said. I can only see the obvious patterns of what they do. The symptom that I'm experiencing are the same symptom others have experienced. These ways of thinking are the ways they force others to think. Others have specifically said that this pedophilia type of torture is what they've been experiencing. Specifically talked about pedophilia as a tactic, as a forced reaction, and thought manipulations. Almost all targeted individuals that were surveyed in this 2014 no-touch thing that Robert Duncan was doing, he interviewed 1,000 of them. Out of 1,000, he says almost all of these people have said something about pedophilia being utilized to break them down, forcing them to see child porn in their mind. Okay. Out of 1,000, almost all of them have said something about pedophilia used to break them down. Okay. You know that. They rewire your brain and force you and condition you day in and day out via dreams, different ways of thoughts, forcing your imaginations to experience disturbing things over and over and over to break you down. They even use your libido. This video is gonna be 800 and something. My first video was in June 20th of 2020. Now you can imagine 4 years of consistent breaking down the mind and conditioning the brain in a pedophilia ways. You're gonna lose yourself. You're gonna forget how you yourself used to think, because it's been long time of conditioning your brain, of manipulating your brain. On top of that, they have manipulated so much of my memories to experience experience different version of my memories in so many ways. The last video, I talked about memories of me when I'm a kid, because what they make me experience is disgusting, and they wanted me to think, oh, what you experience is you when you were a kid. And because when I was a kid, I did something stupid to myself one time. They've been trying to find a way to, like, no, you it's you're waiting for a moment, like, again, to just, like, please, no. And they have to exaggerate what I actually did. And so today, as an adult man, they're just trying to say that what you're doing, what you're experiencing today, is what we've mapped you experiencing when you were a kid. And so we're making you relieve what you used to experience when you were a kid, which on its own is illogical. And this perps continuously repeats the same thing. As Robin Dawkins has said, you're going to hear the same thing after this, which is the process of breaking you down to accept everything but the reality that these people are in a human experimentation that is developing and improving this technology, this weapon that can manipulate your brain. But the psyops for me is that they don't manipulate your brain. They're mapping you. The mapping is the early process to map your brain patterns so they can manipulate them. I've no longer been myself since August 19, 2019, because the mapping then was the mapping was done way before to connect my brain with this system. I remember one of the first things they said to me is, like, kill yourself, now your brain is ours. It was on August 19 or something like that, 2019. That meant that they have mapped everything in my brain, so at this point, we can control you in every ways. And they've been doing more and more and more. They've been conditioning, manipulating, so I can start subscribing, identifying to these ways of experiencing, and continuously, okay, Dad, we're going to do this, condition me, controlling me to experience things. Now is complete breakdown on the 24/7, making me feel emotion that they want me to experience, and everything else. Right now, if I feel a moment of happiness, they can make me feel that again. They can control. They can make me experience anything in the beginning. And I realized that when they were conditioning me, and I think that's what they were doing, to have my thoughts think about children in such a disturbing ways, forcing me to have these disturbing pedophilia things in my thoughts. Non-stop. It was non-stop. I think they were training my brain to get used to that. So today, they can easily, after 4 or 5 years of non-stop, every day, imagine every day of your life for 4 years, 5 years. 4 years since August 19, so it's 4 years. Train your brain to think about kids like that. Dreams, but disgusting, nasty pedophilia dreams and disgusting thoughts every day. I remember sending my letter to this, like, newspaper saying, since that day, my brain has not been the same. I've been forced to see things in my brain in these disturbing ways. Since that day, I was sending this letter in 2020. Today, my brain it's just, like, even worse. So it's obvious that whatever they at this point I'm experiencing is not happening organically. And I heard this yesterday. This person said, "We're mining." You're not mining, because what I'm experiencing is not something I'm experiencing organically. I've no longer been me since August 19, 2019. So you're mining the same thing yourself have implanted. You put something in and you're mining it. That makes no sense. But I understand you want me to identify with the pedophilia things that you do to me. Now, the reason why they're using this terminology and think that I'm going to subscribe to that, because today I'm not experiencing anything. I've been I've been sending letters to newspapers saying since August 2019, my brain has not been the same. I've been experiencing disgusting things before I even knew target individuals what they were. Because I knew since that day I've not been thinking clearly. I've been thinking this. I've been listening, hearing voice, not voice, but they've been using V2K, forcing me to experience different nasty, and something has not been the same. Literally, I described the days that, and then on August 19th, they told me you will, for, bringing back something I did when I was a kid, a delinquently, some stupid thing I did as a kid, and then I will have to die for. And then they talk about, and then ever since then, my imaginations, my thoughts have been just overrun with disgustingness. Disturbing stuff. I said that specifically in my letters there. Now, there is no mining in the sense that if you're saying that you're mining my brain and seeing things today, what you're saying is the things these pedos are implanting my brain. And when I mean pedos, I don't mean literally these perps are implanting in my brain. The reason why this person is saying that is because they want me to identify with these disgusting ways of thinking. These disturbing ways of thinking, as if it's happening to me. Now, like I said, the terminology came from before my brain was completely manipulated on August 19, 2019. Before me coming to even New York, when I used to work for the employer responsible for me to be in this program, I remember I was in a training class with somebody, and so I was, I was learning something new about something analytical, a tool, a platform. I forgot what it's called again. Was it SaaS? Marketing, right? It was SAS, SaaS. As I'm saying that they stimulate me because they pay for things that they do to me. It's so nasty. SAS. It's a way that you create queries to, and it takes like data mining, and with when you have a lot of data, it betters the data mining, meaning that you have the ability to see things better because those queries are able to pull things together to create the report that you need, giving you the report that you need. And the guy teaching me this, right, said something, and he's obviously a perp. It's like, we're just, so we're going to do the mining of the data, so, and they're like, at that moment, he was talking about they were mining my brain. Now, I understand at that point what's happening is they're trying to get the patterns of your brain so they can hook you to what's happening to you now. Because before the manipulation starts, they need to study your brain function, to get the signals together so they can start doing the pure overlay of manipulation. So they can control you and manipulate you to the nth degree. Because I'm sure they could do, before it gets to this point where they can do all these things, when they can control to this level, it takes a process. Robert Dawkins was talking about like he in the early stage, he says that people hear like something being rolled around like some kind of machine. I heard that maybe 2 years ago. I remember when I was living in my apartment, hearing like something rolling above me, and it sounded exactly what like you described. When they were trying to create and make sure that your brain patterns are connected, so you can get hooked to whatever device that can do this thing to you, that can override you. And that's because they said before they can overlay these things, they have to make sure that your brain signal is exactly the same. So this person, when he's talking about at that time about mining, and if let's just say he was truly talking about, which is very much possible, it was probably like saying it in a different, mining my brain, my brain is mining my brain patterns, so they can start hooking me to this thing where today the percentage of my thoughts are probably like it's such a minuscule. Every thoughts I'm experiencing are mostly controlled by these people. These pedophilia thoughts are 100% theirs. I don't even know if my regular non-pedophilia things that they force me to experience, like regular day, that just like, even those thoughts, I think they're controlling that. But because those are not gonna be, something I'm gonna recognize. I only recognize when they do the pedophilia type of torture. Or sometimes when they make me feel like a little too bizarre or something, then I'm like, okay, that was. But they now try to make me to identify with the pedophilia things, to make me identify with these disturbing things. They say, now we're mining. We have so much about you. Yes, you have everyday, 24/7, 365 manipulations and reaction to everything you make me react to. You have so much of the things you've done to me. They're going through my memories, changing my memories, making me have this new version of memories. This is a false memory, because you have been able to mine and mapped out my memories and my patterns to change those. They've controlled my brain, and they're to the point where they can manipulate my memories so much. So now they can create this, when you're a kid, you actually, if this kid was alone, you're gonna, it's like, no. And they try to make me imagine new version of memory. They bring this kid to watch it, and they're like, oh, you're looking. I was like, no, I don't care. Changing reality, because they've mapped my brain to manipulate my brain these ways. They've mapped my brain to be able to change me, to make me experience everything in a different fashion. And they go through then after they do that, they go into the scriptures of, he does, and then I've talked about like the scripts to try to confuse you and agitate you. They have mapped my brain so they can manipulate my brain. So these memories I'm experiencing this way is because they manipulated. And how they're able to do that is because they have mapped my brain, and now they can create a new version of things and try to make me accept these false memories. And now the mining is not, you're mining what you're implanting. You're mining your own stuff. It's like me running to a mine, throw something in the mine, and go, I'm mining here. This is my stuff. This is the stuff I find in this place. Look, I'm mining. And the reason they say that is because they want you as a target individual to identify. So you were mining. And they want me to, like, I think they think that I really believe that people are like, they're mining, they're not doing this particular type of torture that almost all target individuals are experiencing. The scripts, oh my gosh. Yeah, they're different with repetitions, huh? Everything. I mean, everything that it's just so textbook. It's just, I'm using that person's words, Robin Dawkins, textbook. It's so like a protocol. It's like a list of things. And I'm like, oh, that's what it, yep. Or they're going to do the repetition now. Okay, yep. Or they're going to add the tonality. Okay, psyop. Okay, yeah. Making look everything but what it is. Okay, yeah, they're doing that. Oh, yep. It's just ridiculously similar. Do you know, to know how obvious these people are with the peripheral type of torture, one of the first petitions I've seen for target individual, one of the symptoms, somebody said remote pedophilia. It was one of the symptoms. I wish I would have kept that petition. A random petition for target individual. Symptom, meaning that remote pedophilia. Sounds familiar? And now they're like, no, but we did this, like, we mapped to you when you were a kid, you know, so what you're experiencing now, we saw that you this and this. And you see in the petition, somebody saying, remote pedophilia. You gotta know. And then they try to find ways to disorient, oh, you did this, like, okay, whatever. I know. They try to find other ways to disorient me because I'm talking about the pedophilia things they do to people. It's just disgusting. Now, do I think that once they were mapping my brain, they were able to access my memories? Of course. And try to say, okay, we can use this against him, we can use that against him, and then we can come up with this new version of reality. Oh, look at what he did as a kid. Okay, let's yeah, we're gonna do the pedophilia type of torture. We're gonna say, yeah, that was him when I was a kid. Of course, they were orchestrating how they're gonna present this pedophilia type of torture that is manipulated to me. How they manipulate me to experience. They were prepping how we gonna present these nasty things that he's experiencing. We're gonna say that was him when I was a kid. We mapped it to him as a child. That's what they do. So now, I'm not being mined. I'm being manipulated. Maybe they're mining my reaction to the breakdown, but I'm not being mined for my sincere. It's not me. So they're probably mining, if there's any mining of how it's affecting me to be tortured these ways. Mining the psychological torture. That is what these people mine. At this point, how is he mining? How is he reacting to lack of sleep? How is he reacting to manipulation? Not even lack of sleep, because even back then I was like, they were breaking me down, but just with gaslighting tactics. No V2K. So my coworkers were like acting weird. I was just being stressed out without having the manipulations of the V2K. Now, the psychological warfare is the daily experience of all these nasty things that make me experience, these pedophilia things. That is what now they're mining. My torture, my psychological torture is the worst. The constant manipulation of my thoughts is what they're mining at this point. If there's such thing as mining, my reaction to this disturbingness is what they make me. That is the mining. My reaction to the way they try to agitate me once they make me experience these pedophilia things. That's how they. And the reason why they're doing this is because they are trying to improve this technology. They're trying to improve this weapon. Oh, look how fast it's breaking down now. When we do this like this, you see how he breaks down? You see how fast he breaks down like that? Yeah, when you do that pedophile type of torture, and you do this thing. Yeah, the pedophile torture, and you torture the little girls. You see how he reacts? You see how he breaks down like that? Yeah, yeah. And they even stimulate me when I talk about it. Oh, you see, okay. If we make him think like that, okay, make him have a false memory like this. How is he breaking down? Okay, mind that. Okay, map that. Okay, you see how he's reacting when they give you this sexual libido okay, yeah, toward this, yeah. How does he react? Okay, when somebody is trying to gaslight him to accept these pedophilia things, how is he reacting? Okay, map that. Let's see how other ways we can break it down. Okay, so you see that it's basically mapping my reaction to this disturbing, tormenting. That's the only thing. Because I'm not. I'm experiencing all these nasty things, and that's what they're mapping. How is he reacting to this? Okay, let's slow this down, and that's it. Or look at him like this when making, yeah. Have somebody scream outside when they make him experience this pedophilia. How is he going reacting? That is what they're mapping, mining at this point. They're not actually recording this, not recording, but they're not actually like, oh, what was he thinking there? That's their thoughts. They control that. It's more like, how is he reacting to this thought that we're making him experience? That's how these things are happening to me now. Oh, this feeling, this sensation, how is he reacting to it? Is he breaking down? Is he losing it? How much how much is he breaking? That is what I'm experiencing. It's no longer before those days when I was able to actually have my thoughts. Oh, what do I think about that? Oh, I think about that. No, they can control that. They can mandate it. Like, yeah, we can make you think whatever you want. Oh, how is he dealing with a person being, like before it's like, oh, what is he thinking when he's doing this? When he does, like, now it's like, how we can make him think this way? That, like, yeah. But I think now it's more of, how is this psychological torture, how is he reacting to this psychological torture? How frustrated does he get when this happens? Okay, when this pedophilia things, how much, okay. Black little girls, okay, make him look at the black little girl do the pedophilia things. How is he reacting? Is it breaking him down? Okay, yeah. That is what is happening now. So to all my target individual, understand that this point, at this stage that you are, if you know your target individual, what is happening is to see how they can break you down and see you react. They are mining your reaction to these nasty things they make you experience. Because this is a weapon, a system that is meant to break people down. They're developing this thing. They're going to improve on these things. They're going to refine it. They're going to do to make it more breaking down. Pedophilia things, you cannot beat this. But they're very systematic. The slanders, the pedophilia, the memory manipulation. Okay, what memory can we add? We can change this memory like this now. Keep making like worse and worse. Oh, this memory, his brain is so gone now. We can easily change this memory like that. Put some stimulations. This is what's happening to me. Like a memory that maybe 3 months ago was new memory of that stimulation sensation. You're looking like this. You're like, and these people are trying to gaslight you. Now, I'm validated. I can right now listen to somebody talk about it. And these people who want to be sensible, rational, perps wants this to be accepted. It's like, we will prove this. Like, no, this is a global network. This program is globally not because you proved it. It doesn't. It will take a 0.50005 second to understand that they do this pedophile type of torture. And then you add to the fact that there's actually pedophiles in these agencies. That's like, it's embarrassing. Oh no, it's him when he was a kid. It's not the pedophile things. You understand? A grown man can try to be, it's you, and it's you. It's like, no, it's not the pedophile thing. It's me. It's not like we're all target individuals. This is me. So I'm a target individual. Stay strong. This breaking down methods and try to make you identify to this is disturbing. For me, I have my perps that have a psyop that they want to be this like organization of goodness, meaning, and I'm using that word specifically because somebody else testified and said the same thing, and that was like in 2007. They have these people who wants to make themselves believe that there's something else in this program that does the same things. The psyop is, there are a bunch of whatever BS story, when in reality they are involving themselves in a human experimentation where the brain of the subject is rewired, restructured, and conditioned in the most disturbing ways, pedophilia centric, to push that individual to kill themselves and to break them down, to break their self-esteem. Every time I feel good about myself, they do noise compared, try to break it down and bring back the pedophile things they do to break me. But when I'm in person with them, I see them as lower than me. I see them for the bottom feeders that they are. No matter how big, like grown woman who've been, there's this woman I'm looking at her, I was like, you have done so much more than me in your life. But I'm looking at you like trash because of what you're involved in and how you try to break me down. And so I'm getting this sense of like dignity. So to all my target individuals, understand you could be living like that.